How to install the Supersprings, the self-adjusting suspension stabiliser.
Hi, I'm here to talk to you today about the new Supersprings, and we've got a brand new Nissan Navara D40. I'm going to show you how the 750 kilogram carrying capacity of this vehicle is greatly diminished, even with just 450 kilos in the back, how much the car drops down at the back. So I'm just going to show that to you now. Firstly, what I'm going to do is measure from the bottom of the rim to the bottom of the wheel arch, and then we're going to drop the weight in the back and show you how much it lowers down. So right now, we're sitting at 750 millimeters. Again, this is a brand new vehicle. Some cars may be a little bit different as they go older. We're going to now drop that weight in the back and see how much it drops down. Okay, so if we can just start the fork up, and we're just going to drop this down now, and I'll show you the measurement. So we started at 750, and if we drop that down now, let's lower that weight in. And we're down about now, I think. Is that as far as it goes? Yep. Okay, we've dropped down to 700. So it's dropped down 50 millimeters just with 450 kilos in the back. So you can imagine if you put 750 in the back, that's going to go even further. We'll show you how to fix it. Okay, so let's get into the process here of how we're going to install these Supersprings. First thing you need to do is obviously jack the car up, put the jack stands underneath, very important, and also chock the front wheels. So we've already got the car up, and I've already put the jack stands in place. They're on the chassis rails, and now it's time to simply pull the wheels. You can see the guys have actually loosened it for me. Now it's time to pull the wheels off, and then I'll show you how we actually install the spring. On the end of each Superspring is a rolling shackle. Now what we need to do is simply remove the bolt, take out the pin and bush, do that for both sides, and then we can position it central across the leaf spring that's already in the back of the vehicle. Now you'll notice on each of the shackles there's actually two bolt holes. Now the reason for that is one is a high load and one's a low load. We're going to install this on the low load first, and I always recommend that. If you need to increase the weight loading even further, you can move it to the high load. When we're positioning the Superspring, you need to make sure that it's central to each of the pickup points at either end of the leaf spring that's on the vehicle. So the Superspring will then sit equal distances from the front and the rear pickup point. So now that we have the Superspring in position, you want to get the G-clamp on here. And obviously there's no load on it currently. So what that means is it's very easy to position the first end. So we're going to do the back end first, and then we'll move to the front. Now, as I mentioned before, there's a high point and a low point on each shackle. The low point is the low setting, the high point is the high setting. Very simple to remember. Always install it in the low setting first, because you can always increase the rating afterwards. Position the G-clamp over the top of the Superspring and under the leaf spring of the vehicle. Hold the top part of the G-clamp and then do up the lower part of the G-clamp, and that'll keep it nice and stable as you're bringing it down. So we simply position the roller pin and bush into the lower setting, put the nut on there. We'll do that one up nice and firm now, but as I said before, do not do up the top one. This shackle needs to remain loose so that the roller pin and bush can actually move up and down the leaf spring. And then it's simply a matter of releasing the G-clamp, and we're almost good to go. In the case of the Nissan Navara, the Superspring sits over the top with a factory fitted bump stop. In the kit you'll be provided with two rubber blocks. These go on each side in the centre part of the Superspring, and this now becomes the bump stop. You recall when we first did the measurement of the ride height, it was 750 millimeters with no weight in the back. If I measure that now, again from the bottom of the rim to the bottom of the wheel arch, we're at 805 millimeters. So just with the addition of the Superspring, that's actually increased the rear ride height by 55 millimeters. So if we can just bring that load in now, and we'll drop it down, and we'll do the measurement as we do it. So we're 810, 770, 750. That's right down? Yep. So we're now at 750 millimeters. So we're actually where we started before we even put the Superspring in. So that's a great thing. This vehicle has a load rating capacity of 750 kilograms. You can see when we put 450 kilos in the back, that dropped the rear ride height dramatically. Now, what that actually does is that can compromise the handling characteristics of the car. The addition of the weight and the lowering of the rear ride height can compromise the braking and steering of the vehicle. So with the addition of the Superspring, what we're able to do is maintain the original ride height measurement that we were started with. So we started with 750 millimeters, then we put the weight in, the car lowered down. We're now adding 450 in the back, and we're keeping that original ride height that we started out with on this vehicle.
Thanks for watching and safe driving.